I've been getting a lot of questions recently about the mortgage process, mainly where do I start and what happens after I get pre-approved. Well, today I'm going to walk you all through the loan process from start to finish and clarify any questions that you may have. My name's Matt McDonald from Premier Mortgage Lending. Let's get into it. The first step that we're going to have is preparing ourselves for the loan. Okay, with this, you want to get your credit score as high as you possibly can. Okay, we're going to want to see that you have a stable income. We want to see that you'll have stable employment history. Okay, and with that too, you're also going to want to save for your down payment. Remember, depending on the type of loan, you may not need 20% down. An FHA loan, we have 3.5% down as a minimum. If you're doing a conventional loan, we have 5% down as a minimum. Okay, if you are a first-time home buyer, there is that extra benefit where we do get to put 3% down for a minimum down payment. So don't feel like you have to save 20%. That's just not the case. Okay, with this too, you're also going to want to obtain any necessary documents that we need. Okay, and with that, that'll be 2 years of W-2s, 2 years of tax returns, 2 recent pay stubs, and then also we're going to need your driver's license just for verification. Okay, you don't need to submit any of that right now, but you are going to want to get that ready for when you do apply for the loan. Okay, step number 2 is going to be to find a lender, obtain and complete their application. Okay, so the first step there is to find a lender. Okay, this is probably the most important part of your mortgage process. You want to find a lender that you can trust and that is available to you 24/7. Okay, your lender should be there to help you. They shouldn't be there to just push a certain product on you, push a certain loan on you. They should be there to help you and guide you through this process, answering any questions that you may have. Okay, once you find that lender, you're going to want to get their application. Okay, and usually lenders will either help you fill it out through a phone call, or they'll help you fill it out online. Okay, after you fill out the application, we're going to get you pre-approved. Okay, with this, I do need to pull your credit. Okay, there's a lot of myths out there that pulling your credit is going to lower your score by 20, 30 points. That's just not the case. At worst, it's going to lower it about 2 to 3 points. And as long as you pay your bills the next month, your score is probably going to actually be higher the next month than the month previous. Step number 3 is going to be, now that you're pre-approved, we're going to want to find you a real estate agent and we get to go house hunting. Okay? Just like your lender, the real estate agent should be someone that you trust and that works for you. They shouldn't be trying to push a certain market on you, trying to push a certain house on you. Okay? You should be looking for houses where you want to live, not where they want you to live. Okay? Just as I said, starting to go to open houses, starting to look at listings, seeing what you do like in a house, what you don't like in a house, and your realtor will help you out with that. Okay, and finally, if you see one that you like, let's put an offer on it. And again, that's where your real estate agent will help put any, whether it's a contingency, the exact offer that you need together, that's what your realtor is going to help you with. Step 4 is going to be to lock in your interest rate. This will be after you get an offer accepted. Okay, you sign the purchase and sale agreement, you have a house under contract, that's when you'd call your lender again, and we're going to lock in your interest rate. Okay, that way the interest rates fluctuate up and down. You want to make sure that you lock your rate so you know that it's not going to move for a certain amount of days, whether it's 30 days, 45 days, whatever it may be. That's what you and your lender will discuss. During this time period, you're also going to receive a loan estimate from us. What that disclosure is it's going to go over all the costs of the loan. So it's going to go over your closing cost, all itemized, so you get to see exactly what you're paying for. It's going to show you your interest rate, your APR, the length of the loan, all the information that you need about the loan. So we advise you read this carefully. Make sure you understand what you're actually signing and don't just sign it just to sign it. Okay, this can be signed through an e-doc, or this can be signed actually face-to-face on paper. That next step is going to be to start submitting that loan to underwriting. Okay, here's where my processing team will take over. My processing team is going to verify any of the documents that you gave me, and they also may gather other documents to verify your income, assets, or debt. Okay, it's a very normal thing. Don't feel like you forgot something or we forgot something in that first step. There may just be something that maybe they see that's a little bit out of whack, or that they need a little bit more verification on. Okay, so that may happen in this step where they may ask you for just a couple more documents. Okay, with this too, we're going to order the appraisal through an appraisal management company. That's a third-party company. Okay, so with that, you are going to have to pay for that at that time in order to submit that loan. Okay, that doesn't mean you're going to get the appraisal right away, but we do have to get that ordered in order to submit the loan to underwriting. Okay, once that's all completed, once everything looks good, just like that, we're going to submit the loan to underwriting, wait for an approval or a denial. Step number 6, okay, your loan hopefully was approved. Most of the time, if we do our job correctly, your loan will be approved. Okay, you will then be cleared to close. Okay, it's what we call a CTC. Once you do get cleared to close, you'll be provided another disclosure called the closing disclosure. Okay, just like the loan estimate, you should read this carefully, make sure you understand what you're signing. This is just going to go over all the cost of closing. Again, all itemized so you can see exactly what you're going to owe at the closing table, and that way when you get there, it's not a surprise on what you have to owe. Okay, once you do sign this closing disclosure, we can close 3 days after that. So if we send it to you and maybe there's a little, let's call it 2-day delay to sign it, that means the closing gets pushed back 2 days. So we want to make sure that we are on top of this. Okay, we're contacting our lender, we have the closing disclosure. Any questions that you may have, we want to answer them right away. Okay, the closing cannot happen without the signature of receipt for this. Okay, so that's a very, really important thing to know. Closing cannot happen until we sign this closing disclosure. Okay. Final step, the best part, we get to close on our house. Okay? Depending on whether you live in Mass or New Hampshire, closing process can be a little different. If you live in New Hampshire, all right, we go through a closing company, and then if you go through Mass, or if you're buying in Mass, I should say, you will need an attorney on hand in order to complete the closing. So if you are looking to purchase in Mass, just make sure you know that that is another added expense at the closing table. I hope this answered any questions that you guys have. My number is 603-475-5471. I can be reached at mmcdonald@pmlhomeloans.com. If you guys have any questions at all, don't be afraid to reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you guys out.